Aloha! Welcome to week 2 of Sacred Healing Support Series, um, presented to you by me, your host, Shea Love, and as part of my service of Aloha Love Heals. Yeah, I'm here to support people on their healing journey to reach greater freedom and awakening for fulfillment. And as I'm getting into all that, I'm actually giving you the answer of what today is about, which is what is sacred healing exactly, and why is it important? So, sacred healing for me, in my experience, in my own healing journey, and in supporting dozens or even hundreds of other people in their healing journey, is this process, this journey, this adventure of liberating ourselves, coming back into alignment with ourselves, a coming home to ourselves. It's really owning and embracing and claiming this ability we have to heal. And healing is uh, realizing, seeking, and finding what is creating our suffering. And often it is childhood wounding, and there's these younger parts of us. You know, for me, my 5-year-old felt abandoned and not wanted, and like she didn't matter, and felt very alone and scared. So there's my little 5-year-old in there who was kind of stuck, frozen in time in that time. And she was always acting out through me, through adult Shea, like, people don't like me, don't trust anybody, I'm alone, life sucks, life is unfair, all these things that she believed and took on from her experience, from her trauma when she was 5, when I was 5, my little 5-year-old. And then my 10-year-old was bullied very harshly. I was in a car accident and I had a big scar on my face and came with these big stitches. And when I came to school, the movie The Exorcist had just come out, and the kids like called me the Exorcist, and they like ran away from me, and no one would play with me. So there was this experience of being abandoned, not wanted, not liked. Nobody wants to play with me. Nobody wants to be with me. I'm there's something wrong with me. And so the 10-year-old was frozen in time and had all these beliefs and acted out through my life to when I would be in public, I would be extremely insecure and not be able to connect in a real way, and often go away from public events feeling very disconnected and alone, and have these ideas like I don't belong. Yeah, other people are connecting, I can't connect, all these things that have been running my life until I decided to heal and um, go to those parts, those younger parts, and give them an opportunity to be heard, to be seen, to process those really hard, heavy emotions of aloneness and sadness and um, fear, all these things. So, and it's a journey, it's an ongoing journey. And I've had to go back to the 5-year-old and the 10-year-old multiple times because there's so many layers, and do that on my own, but also with a professional. I've had someone who's highly trained in trauma healing hold space for me and really witness those younger parts and their pain, and together we hear them, help them to unburden all those heavy, hard feelings, and to help reclaim those lost qualities of the younger, like the innocence and the playfulness and the creativity and boldness and all these things. So um, a lot of it stems from like inner child work, internal family systems work. It's such an amazing journey. So there's that, and there's also lots of different approaches. There's soul retrieval, where we go and retrieve parts of us that have been, lost and or disconnected. Some of us experience disassociation from traumatic events. There's, so basically what happens is we experience a harsh event. Someone is mean to us. We're in an accident. We experience, something that is traumatizing, either from a person or an event. And something happens physiologically, emotionally, mentally, energetically, that kind of creates almost like a break. I don't know if you can relate, but most of my life I felt broken. I felt like something was broken inside. And that break, that broken feeling, is kind of this disconnect, or this part of us that kind of, goes into this trauma response, which is flight, fight, or freeze, and kind of becomes stuck in that and perpetuates that. And in modern times, or in present day, when something happens, someone will say something, or, for people who've been in war, if they hear like a car backfiring, it'll take them right back. It'll remind them of the gunshots that they heard, these kind of things. And they'll have this trauma response that is not actually related to present day, but actually connected to the past, and creates a trigger of a flood of hormones, emotions, physical response, even beliefs, ideas. So all these things can happen that interfere with our capacity, our ability to be present and connect, to experience connection with ourselves and with another and with life. And for me, part of my coping mechanisms from when I was a 5-year-old, there was a part of me that became the protector and created this cloak, a cloak that would protect me from the upsetting things that were around me, and the fighting that was happening, things that were, too much for me to handle. So I created this cloak that protected me. But what it did also is it got in the way of me being able to connect in a healthy way, in a nourishing way. It created this kind of isolation, this separateness, that prevented me from being able to feel fulfilled in connection, to be able to even connect, with people that was nourishing, that was fulfilling, and perpetuated this ongoing feeling of feeling really alone. So sacred healing is kind of this journey of discovery, it's like a treasure hunt, where we go looking for these parts, these moments, these times where we have experienced trauma, in a very supported way, in a very safe way, so that we can do that reclaiming, that unburdening, that liberating of ourselves of those past traumas, and help them to heal. And and it's like this coming into this sense of, as an adult, I have this power, this ability, and this responsibility, claiming this responsibility to do for myself what will bring me the greatest freedom and peace and happiness. And that we have that capacity. So that's very exciting and empowering. I mentioned coming back into alignment with ourselves, remembering that we are now an adult, we now are beings of choice, we have more resources available to us, and to bring all of ourselves into alignment, mind, body, heart, and spirit, to create this, to come back to remember our sense of wholeness, that we are whole, that we aren't broken, that part of us felt broken, but we can help to repair that break and return to a feeling of wholeness, which we are. Um, and part of sacred healing is also recognizing that at times and often we need to seek and find and open to good help. And often that's professional help, people who are trained, especially if we've experienced a lot of trauma, because it's almost like delicate surgery at times. Um, and yeah, but really I mean, someone can be very highly skilled, but if there isn't a relationship there where we feel safe, where we can feel heard, where we feel like someone is attentive and caring, the healing won't happen. It's in the relationship, in a loving relationship, that repairs the wound, that helps us to have the experience that we didn't have of being seen, to be validated, to be acknowledged, and to feel like we matter. So that's a really amazing part of healing. One of my teachers, Stephen Garrett, used to always say, it's in the heart of another that we truly heal. And as I've said last week in like the guiding principles, you know, that love is one of the most powerful healing forces on the planet. And, you know, of course, that to stand in this knowing, in this claiming that healing is possible. And so why do you go to all this trouble and digging into our past and all this work? Because it does take work and it can cost money as well. There are resources where it can cost less money. Like I just finished volunteer counselor training at Nanaimo Family Life, where they offer counseling on a sliding scale. So that can be available, and it can go up to so it can go from like $20 an hour to like $200 and plus an hour for very highly skilled practitioners. So why invest time, money, energy, tears, blood, sweat, and tears into our healing? Because it ends unnecessary suffering. You know, because we can. First of all, we can. That it is possible. Healing is possible, and it can alleviate our suffering. And in alleviating our suffering, because as I've said in the past, hurt people hurt others. When we alleviate that hurt, we stop perpetuating that hurt and hurting others, and we actually open and allow ourselves to have healthy relationships, good relationships, nourishing relationships, fulfilling relationships, which is what we all deeply yearn for. We are tribal beings. We thrive in relating, in intimacy, in connection. And so there's that. And then we get to open more to and experience more of ourselves, our true selves, the essence of who we are and what we are. And this energy, this life force gets freed up in us that allows for creativity and innovation and inspiration, that we can show up and be this greater, truer expression of ourselves, which is so amazing. And then there is also life. We get to open more to and experience more of the richness, the goodness of life. Because like I said, in having that cloak of protection, not only did I keep the bad things out, but I kept the good things out. I kept myself cut off and kind of in this isolated place that didn't allow good or bad. And so as I heal those parts, I allow myself to be more vulnerable and more open to experience the richness and goodness and beauty of life as well. And then we also get, as I said, like this, allow the greater expression of ourselves, which is fulfilling our potential. And that is such an amazing feeling of really getting to know who we truly are, what our soul truly wants and is here to express. And then in that, we get to become an even greater source of benefit, of service, which is extremely fulfilling. So that's what I have for you today on what is sacred healing, why is it important, why would you go to the effort of it, because it is so worth it. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, or feel free to send me an email or a private message. What has been your journey, or what are your challenges about healing, or what are you not fully understanding, or what are some of the ways that you have benefited? Like I said, I really want this to be a conversation, a dialogue, and a way to inspire and help promote and grow this ability, capacity we have to heal ourselves. And in doing so, we heal our relationships, we heal our community, we heal our country, we heal our continent. It just ripples out. And healing then happens on a global scale, which is really needed. So let us do everything in our power to heal ourselves, and in doing so, help others to heal. Mwah. So be it. Thanks for tuning in.